Hello and welcome to Technopedia India. This is Rohan Narula and today we'll be checking out the Microsoft Surface Duo 2. So let's go. See, the Surface Duo 2 is an unusual device. Not the concept of having a foldable phone, but just the device itself is unusual. And I don't mean that in a good way. Yes, it looks beautiful and the design attracts people. But when it comes to the software, it's not so good. Another thing that I wanted to point out was the Square apps. Why? Just why? It just feels too dull. Some of you might say that having Square apps is not such a big deal, but trust me, after a while it just starts to look too dull and boring. So we don't want that from an expensive phone, do we? One of the changes that I wanted to point out that has been definitely improved is that the Surface Duo 2 has a back camera. The Surface Duo, the original one, didn't even have a back camera. What? Can you believe it? A phone without a back camera. Do you know what we had to do earlier? We literally had to fold the Surface Duo in such a way that we can use the selfie camera as the back camera, which is bad because number one, that the pictures were very low quality, and number two, so for example, you need to click a picture immediately. How irritating would it be to fold your phone first and then click it? I hope that Microsoft would use camera solutions like Samsung. Just look at their Z Flip 3. That phone has a secondary display on the outside which can be used to click pictures immediately, which is great. On the Surface Duo 2, we can click high quality photos and record in 4K, which I wouldn't say is special because it's pretty common now. It has a 12 megapixel wide camera, a 12 megapixel telephoto camera, and a 16 megapixel ultra wide camera, which is something because in the earlier one we didn't even have a camera. Next, we'll talk about the hinge. I really hope that Microsoft would have used the hinge like on the Samsung Z Fold 3. That phone has a hinge which is almost not even visible, which is awesome. One of the biggest problems in the Microsoft Surface Duo 2 was it does not fulfill what I expect from a foldable phone. See, when we get a foldable phone, we want one big screen, right? But on this one, we actually have dual screens, which in my opinion is not so good. So for example, you're reading something on the web browser. Then many of the text in the middle will get lost. Or you're gaming, many of the parts in the middle will get lost, which is something that is very irritating and people wouldn't like. Another thing that seemed very interesting to me is that on this phone we can see a little bit part of the screen through the hinge, which can be used. So for example, someone is calling you or you're getting notifications. You will see a pop-up in this manner through that little hinge, which is something, but it would have been better if they added something like on the Z Flip 3. The Surface Duo 2 also supports 5G, which I wouldn't say is very special as that is also pretty common now. It has a Touch ID bar on the fingerprint sensor, which is great, and I've been waiting for that in the iPhone. This is great because it is actually fast, secure, and even works when we have a mask on. Both the displays are AMOLED 8.3-inch Pixel Sense Fusion displays, so the display is pretty vibrant and it has up to 800 nits of peak brightness, which is great. The device actually has 4449 mAh battery, which will hopefully last all day. I can't tell you the exact Indian pricing as it has not been released in India yet, but it is expected to cost rupees 1,10,000, which I wouldn't say it's worth. So it's just not worth its cost. I would rather get a Z Flip 3 or a Z Fold 3. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Stay home, stay safe. Catch you guys in the next one.